Squid Game has come to an end, or at least the story of Seong Gi-hun has. If some elements of the final chapters of Netflix's global phenomenon left you wondering what actually went down, we've got you. Warning, major spoilers ahead for the third season of Squid Game. In case you're a little rusty on the details of the first two seasons, here's a quick recap. Against all odds, Gi-hun ekes out a victory in his first games, though he loses friends, including his childhood buddy Cho Sang-woo in the process. After winning, Gi-hun visits Sang-woo's mother and introduces her to the younger brother of another finalist, Kang Se-byok. Even though he's ready to board a plane to America that will reunite him with his daughter, Gi-hun decides to infiltrate the games and bring them down from the inside. He teams up with a police officer who's been investigating the games, Wang Jun-ho. That's why Gi-hun returns to the games in Season 2, though his plan fails pretty much immediately. He discovers a tracking chip that has been placed inside a false tooth in his mouth is gone, so he's forced to play the games again without any help. Gi-hun manages to stay alive through it all, but he won't just let the games play out this time. At the end of Season 2, he tries to stage a player-led rebellion against the guards. What he doesn't know is that Player 1, who seems to be his ally, is really the frontman who runs the whole show. Gi-hun also doesn't know that the frontman is Junho's brother, Hwang In-ho. Naturally, In-ho betrays Gi-hun, and many players are killed in the mutiny.
Did you have fun playing the hero?
At the beginning of Season 3 of Squid Game, Gi-hun is furious that the mutiny failed. He largely blames his fellow player Kang Dae-ho, who promised to get more ammunition for their stolen guns, but instead simply abandoned the effort. In the final season's second episode, the players engage in a horrifying version of hide-and-seek, where the seekers are armed with knives in order to kill the hiders. Gi-hun uses this opportunity to kill Dae-ho in revenge. Season 2 standouts Cho Hong-ju and Park Young-sik also perish, and Kim Joo-hee, player 222, gives birth to her baby. Sadly for Jun-hee, she also grievously injures her ankle, completely taking her out of the running for the next game, which is a deadly version of jump rope. Gi-hun, the baby, and the baby's father, Jun-hee's estranged boyfriend Lee Myung-ji, all make it across a chasm safely, but Jun-hee chooses to end her life on her own terms, knowing that she can't possibly compete, so she jumps. The newborn baby girl is given her mother's number, 222, and is added to the games as a competitor. The final game is another iteration of the title's Squid Game, involving moving between circles, squares, and triangles. It's now played on perilous pedestals where players have to choose who among them dies. The players are finally winnowed down to Myung-ji, Gi-hun, and the baby. Myung-ji wants to kill his own child, which sends Gi-hun into a rage. After a scuffle, Myung-ji falls to his death. That leaves two remaining players, Gi-hun and the baby. Not exactly a fair fight.
The final round has begun.
But with a literal representation of hope and potential in his hands, Gi-hun decides he's done playing these meaningless games for other people's entertainment. Calling back to his own preferred entertainment back in the day, horse racing, he gives the VIPs a passionate speech.
We are not horses. We are humans.
And then he lets himself fall backwards off the platform. This unexpectedly leaves player 222 as the sole remaining player and the winner of the Squid Games. A key subplot throughout Seasons 2 and 3 of Squid Game involves Kang No-yul, a North Korean defector who lost her husband and daughter and accepted an offer to join the game as a guard. Throughout both seasons, she protects player 246, Park Young-sak, knowing that he has a very sick daughter who needs him. After pretending to kill him so that he can escape the island, No-yul finds her own file in the compound, showing the audience that the guards, just like the players, are monitored and tracked. They're just hapless cogs in the machine like everyone else. After Gi-hun's death, the finale jumps ahead by 6 months, showing a reunited No-yul, Young-sok, and his daughter Na-yeon, back at the amusement park where both Na-yul and Young-sok used to work. Young-sok doesn't recognize Na-yul as the guard who saved his life, but is mainly happy that Na-yeon is healthy.
She looks better now.
She is, thanks to everyone's help. She's been getting a lot better.
Na-yul wishes them both the best, and after receiving word from an ally that her daughter might be alive and living in China, heads to the airport to catch a flight, concluding her story on a hopeful note. As Na-yul tries to find her daughter, Junho finds the infant player 222 with her winnings in his home, clearly delivered safely by his half-brother In-ho. Gi-hun's daughter also receives her father's uniform and winnings from In-ho as well. In the very last moment of the episode, the front man is visiting Los Angeles, where he sees his new recruiter, played by none other than Cate Blanchett. So it's clear the games will continue elsewhere. In an interview with Netflix Today after the third and final season of Squid Game dropped on Netflix, creator Hwang Dong-hyuk revealed some of the intentions behind the finale's events, including answering one enormous question: did Gi-hun have to die? Hwang explained that Gi-hun's sacrifice ensures that an innocent newborn baby will not only emerge safely from the game, but probably never have to worry about money for her entire life. And that's basically the point of the entire show. He said, "The message I wanted to communicate was that if we solely pursue our immediate self-interest and refuse to self-restrain, sacrifice, or bear any costs, and if we don't put our heads together, we have no future. He added that Gi-hung's sacrifice was the only way to convey that message, highlighting that the person he chooses to save is the only truly innocent figure in the entire game. Audiences are sure to have mixed feelings about the ultimate winner of Squid Game being a baby, but both the show's creator and some of its stars are adamant that it was necessary to inject some hopefulness into an otherwise bleak show, and the alternative would have been bleak indeed.
What are you waiting for, 456? Just end it already.
Actor Lee Byung-hun views the frontman's final major act, saving the baby and giving it to his honest and upstanding brother, as a sign that the character isn't totally beyond redemption. He told Tadam that actually highlighted the fact that he has that last remaining piece of humanity deep down somewhere. That's the agreement that director Hwang and I came to. That's how I played my character. Frontman has that last piece of benevolence remaining inside of him. Hwang explained that he believes the baby represents a hopeful future. That might mean that the game ceased to exist, at least in South Korea. He explained, ultimately, the baby represents a future generation. I believe we also have the responsibility and duty to try everything that we can in our power to leave a better world for the future generation. The baby coming out the winner was in line with the meaning of Squid Game. Throughout her 2-season run on Squid Game, Yeol is a tough and inspiring figure. It was hard to imagine, at least for a while there, that she could ever truly find any happiness. As Wang Dong-yuk put it, she's someone whose inner light has all but faded, drifting deeper into the night. Wang told Tadam that seeing Gi-hung give his life for the baby changed her perspective and inspired her to keep going. He added, a flicker of hope and pull towards life reignites within Yeol. I wanted to show her rising again, reclaiming her will to live and giving life another shot. Yeol's story ties into that of Season 1's Se-byuk, who was also a North Korean defector. She played this dangerous game in the first place so that she could win the money and reunite her brother and mother, and that's what happens at the airport in the last episode. Even though the boy is too intimidated to even interact with his long-lost mom at first, Sang-woo's mother, who has been his mother figure for quite a while, encourages them, making Se-byuk's dream into a reality. Hwang said, Se-byuk tried to send money to the north, dreaming of bringing her mother over so that the three of them could be reunited and live happily together. She held on to that hope, a sliver of light like the break of dawn. Gi-hung is clearly a good guy, and there's no doubt that he loves his daughter, Ga-young, but he isn't a great dad. So when the frontman goes to deliver Gi-hung's player uniform and the sum total of his winnings to her, Ga-young is furious at her father, blaming him for leaving her and telling In-ho in no uncertain terms that she has no desire to ever see him again. Sadly, her wish is granted.
Mr. Seong Gi-hun has passed away.
That sucks, but at the very least, Ga-young now knows that her father didn't choose to abandon her, which likely gives her some closure. Gi-hung's actor, Lee Jung-jae, weighed in on this unexpected scene in the Tadam article, and you can tell he still really feels a connection to the character. He said, when I saw the scene where the frontman goes to see Ga-young, I thought, Gi-hung's gonna be so mad he's going to rise from his grave and just jump out of the coffin. That's how upset he was going to be. It's certainly surprising that a 2-time Academy Award-winning actor from Australia shows up right at the end of Squid Game. As the previous recruiter so often did, she's playing a game of Dakji in an alley with a down-on-his-luck opponent, which definitely seems to set up a future where Blanchett will play a new recruiter.
All right, let's go again.
As you wish.
David Fincher, one of Hollywood's most revered directors who also worked with Blanchett on 2008's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, is apparently developing a spin-off of Squid Game set in the United States. So that seems to point to the fact that Blanchett could potentially be the next face of an international franchise. So why Cate Blanchett? Why not Cate Blanchett? Hwang told Tadam, we thought having a woman as a recruiter would be more dramatic and intriguing. And as for why Cate Blanchett, she's just the best, with unmatched charisma. Who doesn't love her? We needed someone who could dominate the screen with just 1 or 2 words, which is exactly what she did. Lee Byung-hun described this final shot as the perfect ending because even though there was a glimmer of hope with the innocent baby winning, the world's still a terrible place. He said, personally, I interpret it as, despite all of the noble efforts of so many people, the world still continues as it was before. Based on the sheer popularity of Squid Game, which has been a sensation all over the world since the first season, it feels like we'll probably get more spin-offs even beyond the still mysterious one David Fincher is looking to helm. But will any of the characters from the original series return? Specifically, will Lee Byung-hun's frontman continue to oversee the proceedings? We learn a little bit about the frontman in a major Season 3 flashback, and what it reveals is horrifying. We already knew that In-ho became the frontman after winning his own game years earlier, but what we didn't know until Season 3 was that he was offered the chance to kill his competitors in their sleep the night before the final game. He took the opportunity. He later offers that same chance to Gi-hung, but Gi-hung doesn't go through with it. There's still so much to learn about In-ho's past, present, and future, and it feels notable that he and Blanchett's recruiter make direct eye contact as she torments her latest victim. This clearly suggests that the two know each other. Is In-ho passing the torch, or is he in Los Angeles to help launch a whole new round of games? At the very least, we know Lee can speak excellent English.
I thought either it's going to be a huge hit or complete flop.